Welcome to my sports betting channel. Place your bets. It is the follow-up video to week number 10. How about we go look at Sunday's results and let's go take a look at my betting board. All right. Sunday's games, week number 10. The results. Let's see how everybody did. Falcons versus the Colts. Remember, that was an international game. Look at that score, 25-31 in overtime. Colts were a 6.5-point favorite. Browns versus the Jets. Browns were a 2-point favorite. Well, the Jets pulled off a win, 27-20. Saints versus the Panthers. Panthers, 5.5-point favorite. Well, look who pulled off the upset. The Saints. You know, I've been giving them a hard time all year, and good for them. I'm glad they got a win. Morale booster. They needed it. Bills versus the Dolphins. Bills 6-2. Dolphins 2-7. The Bills were a 9.5-point favorite. I'll tell you why I did not bet on this game. Look at the money line, -500. If I were to put $20 on that game, I would have won less than $5. So it's just kind of pointless to bet on that game. I mean, unless you want to take a chance on the Dolphins and try to win some money. I wasn't going to do it, but look at this. Wow. Huge upset. Dolphins won 30-13. Anybody see that coming? Not me. Next game, Jaguars versus the Texans. The Jags were favored by 1 point. Wow. Look who pulled off the upset. Texans, 36-29. I thought about betting on that game, but I wasn't sure which team was going to show up. Well, the Texans showed up, so. Ravens versus the Vikings. The Ravens. 3-5. Vikings 4-4. Ravens were favored by 4. I told you I was not going to touch this game at all. Well, look. Ravens won 27-19. Vikings lost at home. Patriots versus the Buccaneers. Buccaneers were a 2.5-point favorite. Patriots 7-2. Buccaneers 6-2. Anybody's game. Well, I said last week that the Patriots have been playing very well and that they are a dependable bet. And I should have taken that bet. But I didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Giants versus the Bears. I watched that game. That was a great game. Giants pretty much had the Bears beat. I thought the Bears were going to lose this game. And right at the last minute, they pulled it out. Bears were a 4.5-point favorite. They didn't cover the spread. Look at that final, 24-20. Cardinals versus the Seahawks. I've been saying it all year. Seahawks have been playing great. They're a dependable bet. I should have taken the spread. Look at that, 44-22. Lions versus the Commanders. I had to double check these scores because they mirror each other. What are the odds of that? Lions were a 8-point favorite, covered the spread. Look at that, 44-22. I think the reason I didn't bet on that game is the money line was minus 450. I don't know. I thought about it. I should have taken that bet. But Lions, they got beat at home by the Vikings. So it's like, which team's going to show up and play football? Well, the Lions showed up. Rams versus the 49ers. Rams 6-2, 49ers 6-3. Rams were 4.5-point favorite. With the 49ers, they've lost at home. They've lost at home 2-3 times. And look at this. 42-26. Man, the Rams put a whooping on the 49ers. Steelers versus the Chargers. Chargers were a 2.5-point favorite. I liked this bet. And I said it. I said the Chargers were playing well. Look at that score, 25-10. Problem with the Steelers, they're unpredictable. You don't know who's going to show up. Monday Night Football. Eagles versus the Packers. I liked this bet. I took this bet. I'm glad I took this bet. Look at this final score. Packers were favored by 1 point. Look at this. 10-7. Eagles won. All right, let's get to my betting board and see how I did. All right, betting board. I had a really good weekend. My record is now 39-18. I won all of my games except for one. Out of my 2 parlays, I won one of my parlays. I had $10 money line on the Colts. I won that one. I had $10 money line on the Panthers. I lost that game. The problem with losing $10, well, I lost $10 there and then I lost $250 on a parlay, is you got to make up that money somewhere. And even though I'm now at 103.62, it's actually kind of hard to do, especially if I'm doing a $5 money line on the Bears and a $5 money line on the Chargers. If I would have put $10 money line on all these games, I'd be looking at more than $103. But like I said, I'm a small unit bettor. I'm kind of conservative. Don't do a lot of risky bets, and that's fine by me. Like I always say, I'm having fun. So lost $10 on the Panthers. I had a $5 money line on the Bears. I had a $10 money line on the Seahawks. I had a $5 money line on the Chargers. I did a $5 money line on the Eagles for that Monday Night Football game, and right at the very last second, I did a $2. I took the 1 point. I took the Eagle point, and I put $2 on that spread, and I converted $2 to $3.72. With the Colts $10 money line, I converted that $10 to $13. With the Bears money line, I converted that $5 to $7. With the Seahawks $10 money line, I converted that $10 to $13. With the Chargers $5 money line, I converted that $5 to $8.33. My $2.50 parlay, I converted that to $4.76. one thing I have learned, the conclusion that I have come to in 10 weeks of betting, betting is not about luck. It is all about strategy. And really, that's really what it is. It's picking the winners from the losers out of the 12, 13, 14 games, from Thursday to Sunday to Monday. It really is about picking the winners, finding the winners. And I found them. I found all the winners this weekend except for the pathetic Panthers, who, by the way, the same Panthers that beat Green Bay the previous week. Well, the Saints beat them at home. The 1-8 Saints beat the 5-4 Panthers. So it's like, you never know which team is going to show up and play football. I say it all the time. Who's going to show up and play football? Really, that's what it comes down to. So I had an awesome weekend. I hope you had an awesome weekend. I think I've covered the board, pretty sure. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out my channel. And we will see you in week number 11.